All right, let's jump forward in time just a little bit to the year 2026. I want you to try and forget everything you think you know about banking or investing or even just spending money. The whole financial world is being torn down and rebuilt, and it's splitting into two completely separate realities. You're going to have to choose which one you live in. So let's break down how we get there.
So just imagine this for a second. What if there was a digital version of you, an AI agent that didn't just give you some friendly advice, but actually managed your money for you? I'm talking making purchases, negotiating deals, all on your behalf, 24/7. This isn't some far-off sci-fi idea. This is the big question at the heart of this new economic world. So how did we get here? Well, it all starts with a brand new kind of fuel. You see, this new AI-driven economy, it doesn't run on money or gold or oil in the traditional sense. It runs on something way more valuable: data. Specifically, all those little digital breadcrumbs you and I leave behind every single day. Okay, let's unpack that term, proprietary intent data. Think of it as the new oil. Seriously, every time you do a search for a mortgage rate or you look up ESG investments or even just research a new accounting software for your business, you're leaving a clue, a digital breadcrumb. And all these clues, they signal your future intentions. For financial AI, that is pure gold. It's the raw material that lets them predict what you're going to buy or invest in next. And believe me, companies are catching on fast. They're turning this data into a core part of their business. Just look at this table. You can see the bigger the company, the more likely they are to be monetizing this data. For the really big players, we're talking a 70% monetization rate. Selling your financial intentions, well, it's not a side hustle anymore, it's the main business model. So how does it actually work? I mean, how does your messy digital life get turned into clean fuel for an AI? Well, first, the AI just vacuums up all this raw data from things like invoices, and it does it with near perfect accuracy. Then it starts sifting, looking for the really important signals, the stuff that shows you're about to make a big move. After that, it adds context, maybe connecting your transaction data with your recent search history. And finally, it gets all packaged up, nice and clean, into a format an AI can use instantly to make decisions. Okay, so we've got the fuel, it's been sourced, it's been refined. Now it's time to power up the engine. And that engine is your new personal AI agent. But listen, this is so much more than a simple assistant or a chatbot. This right here is the critical difference. We're moving from assistants to agents. You know, the AI co-pilots of the past, they would suggest things. They were tools. They needed you to click yes. But the AI agents of 2026, they're executors. They can reason, they can plan, and they can act all on their own. They can browse for products, buy them, even negotiate a better price, all without you. They're not a tool anymore. They're basically your digital twin. And this is where things start to get really wild. If AIs are the ones doing the shopping, then who are companies marketing to? Well, we're seeing this massive shift from SEO, search engine optimization, to something called AEO, or agent engine optimization. You can forget catchy slogans and beautiful ads for humans. The new game is all about clean, structured, machine-readable code for AIs. The goal isn't to get a human to click a link. It's to get your agent to decide your product is the most logical choice, and then just buy it, automatically. So just as it seems like the super efficient, machine-run world is becoming the new normal, something totally unexpected starts to happen. A powerful counter-movement, a human rebellion against the algorithm. It really started back in 2024 with something called the plastic AI flood. Luxury brands, of all people, went way too hard on AI-generated marketing, and it just backfired. Big time. Consumers felt it was synthetic, inauthentic, and trust just plummeted. By 2025, you had this huge cultural movement, #FakeFinesse, taking over. And then came the final straw, the Altruist event in early 2026, when an AI basically made elite financial advice available to everyone for pennies, and the stocks of traditional wealth management firms just crashed. And the data that came out of this rebellion is just staggering. The difference in revenue between those soulless plastic AI campaigns and the authentic human-centric ones was a mind-blowing 2,000%. That's not just a small preference, right? That is the market screaming at the top of its lungs for something real. It proved that in a world drowning in AI, the one thing people truly value is genuine human effort. Now, this rebellion didn't kill the AI market, not at all. It just split it right down the middle. So on one side, you have the mass market. It's all about AI optimized for agents defined with AI interfaces, and where trust is all about speed and data. But then you have this new human-only boutique model, and it's the complete opposite. They are intentionally invisible to algorithms. You don't talk to a bot, you get the senior partner on the phone. And trust isn't based on data, it's based on empathy and experience and a real human story.
And here's the kicker. People are willing to pay an unbelievable premium for that human touch. Think about this number for a second. A retainer for a high-end, human-only financial advisor can cost 240 times more than an entry-level AI service. This isn't just a simple luxury markup. This is a fundamental repricing of what a human connection is actually worth in the age of AI. So, this is where we land in 2026. We're not living in one single future, but two. It's a financial world that's been split right in half, and it forces every single one of us to make a choice.
So which path do you take? Well, path one is the mass market, total algorithmic efficiency. Your AI agent handles everything for next to nothing, optimizing every single decision for speed and cost. The value here is pure utility and automation. Path two? That's the high-end market, human authenticity. Here, services are handcrafted by real experts. You're paying a huge premium, but not for data. You're paying for empathy, for trust, and for the priceless value of human judgment.
And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important question. It's the one that's going to define not just the next decade of our economy, but our lives. As AI gets closer and closer to perfecting automation, making everything in our lives seamless and frictionless, what price do we put on a real, genuine human connection? That's the choice we're all going to have to make.